Tax season is over, so Kim and I decide we're going to take the boat to the island for an overdue rest. We cleared Los Angeles Lighthouse about 11 o'clock in the afternoon and set a course for the Isthmus. The breeze came up to about 26 knots, so I decided to throw a reef in the main to make it a little bit more of a comfortable ride to the island. The boat performed well with a reef in the main, doing 6.5, almost 7 knots. So we're on a mooring in Cherry Cove after an exciting, exhilarating sail and 3-hour crossing. Cherry Cove is gorgeous. Day 2, and we're watching the sun come up. What a gorgeous morning. Grab a cup of coffee and enjoy it with us. As you can see, the island is almost totally empty. We're one of 5 boats in Cherry Cove. Although we have Memorial Day weekend coming up, and I'm sure Catalina and Cherry Cove will start to fill up by the end of the week. Here Comes the Sun is a 2002 Jeannot Sun Odyssey 37. So Lion's Head is the point on the west side of Cherry Cove. It sticks out far enough to block most of the wind and makes Cherry Cove one of our favorite spots. Kim and I jumped in the dinghy and went over to the Isthmus, or what they refer to as 2 harbors. 2 coves over from Cherry. It's just a short dinghy ride. How could you not enjoy the warm sun and the tranquil peacefulness of Catalina Island, especially when it's this empty? Ashore at the Isthmus, you'll find a bar with an outdoor patio, an inside restaurant, Doug's Reef, that you can sit down and eat, as well as food being served out on the beach. And there's a snack bar and a general store, which is relatively small. Things have changed over the years. I sometimes refer to the Isthmus now as Descanso Beach West. Kim and I decide to take a hike over to the back side of the island, Cat Harbor. Approaching the Little Red Schoolhouse in the Isthmus has now been closed. It once was part of Long Beach School District, closed for low enrollment. Next, we come across the Isthmus Yacht Club. It was built during the Civil War period to house Army barracks on the island. Today, it's the only structure that remains from the military installation. As we keep walking, we're headed towards Catalina Harbor, aka Cat Harbor, on the windward side of the island. Cat Harbor is the deepest cove on the island and provides excellent protection for boats at anchor or on moorings. This pier and dinghy dock is part of Delray Yacht Club's facility. As we keep walking towards the windward side of the island, we run into Ballast Point, a large sand spit. We are looking at the entrance to Cat Harbor on the windward side of the island. As you can see, it's a large cove and it's very deep, can hold a lot of boats and good protection. Day 3 after breakfast, I decide to take a quick dip in the ocean before we head over on a dinghy ride back to the Isthmus. What a great way to shake the cobwebs out and wake you up. So we're off for a little dinghy ride and we'll explore the coves on our way to the Isthmus. You gotta excuse the trash bag in the dinghy in front of you. We have to pack all our trash ashore. First cove we come to is 4th of July Cove. This cove is leased to the 4th of July Yacht Club, who manages the moorings in the facility on land. The beach is closed to the general public. The 4th of July Cove is a small boat moorage area just west of the Isthmus. It's an east-facing cove that has excellent protection for the boats that are moored there. After the 4th of July Cove, we come to the Isthmus, which is a very large cove with lots of moorings. The isthmus tends to be a windy spot on the island because of the narrow spit of land, and the wind blows right through from the windward side of the island to the leeward side. It tends to be breezy. The isthmus has a large, somewhat sandy beach that's a great place to just hang out, lay in the sun, or look for shells. Coming up, you'll see the Two Harbor Campground, one of many on the island, but easy access from the isthmus. As we move along the east side of the isthmus, we come along some nice cliffs, great diving, and interesting rock formations. As we keep moving along the east side, the next cove we come to is Fisherman's Cove. Fisherman's Cove is the home to the USC Marine Research and Teaching Facility on Catalina Island. So it's Thursday morning and it's time to leave. The weather is pretty gray. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning. And we're going to get ready to drop the mooring. Kim goes to the bow to make sure everything is clear to drop when I tell her. I get the stern line free and drop it. I'll drop it and let it sink before I tell Kim to drop hers, so we have no chance of wrapping this mooring line in the prop. As we get out of Cherry, we have a gentle 7-8 knots, so I decide to put the main up and keep the motor running. As we motor sail past Ship's Rock, we take a look back at the island and think we'll be back soon. Well, the wind died, not a whole lot of sailing going on. Back inside Angel's Gate for another successful trip.